Welcome back, continuing the LatAm focus. In this section, LatAm beyond the big two, other markets to watch. I'm joined by Marzia Turrini, EVP of Europe and South America, BMM Testlabs. Wonderful to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much, it's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And it's day 2 of ICE. Has it been going well for you so far?
Very, very busy. Back to those days pre-pandemic. Very, very pleased to see all this excitement around me.
Now, tell us, there's been a lot of talk about Brazil and Argentina in particular. Do you feel that international brands are probably exploring other opportunities across the continent?
Sure, definitely. Undoubtedly, everyone has been looking at Brazil, especially for the past few years, but we're still waiting for the miracle to happen. But in the meanwhile, there are other countries that have been developing online regulation. They're working towards that, and some steps have been made forward, especially Peru, Chile, definitely there are and Uruguay as well, actually. And we expect this to happen between this year and next year, maximum. But there are other countries that realize that online gaming is equally important to land-based as well. The pandemic was a good test for this. So we know that Ecuador, Bolivia, and Dominican Republic as well are working towards regulating the gaming industry as well. In the past, these countries have banned gaming, so they're back. And I think the political turmoil that is going on in South America right now in a way generates the need of some money injection, and definitely gaming is one of them.
So you mentioned a few regions there. Which are you most excited about? Which do you think look like the most promising?
Peru.
Peru.
Peru, I would say, definitely. It's a big market. Peru has been regulated for many years in the land-based environment. And it's an important market for our industry, and I'm 100% sure that when online is going to be regulated, it's going to be a boom. Think a little bit what happened in Colombia a few years ago, but Peru is even bigger. So there is a lot of excitement, in BMM about Peru, but not only. The whole industry is expecting this to happen.
And what about issues that could hinder growth? Let's talk about those. What issues do you think there are?
Well, look, definitely, the political landscape is a bit unstable right now in Peru. So when you have a little bit of instability politically wise, you always have to expect a bit of surprises, true. But I'm quite confident that the regulator will definitely learn and leverage the experience of neighbors, like Colombia as an example. But there is also a natural link to Spain, right, for cultural reasons and historical reasons. And I'm sure that the regulators talk to each other, so I don't expect a lot of problems. Also from a banking perspective, in the past there were a lot of problems because the bank corporation were a little bit scared of dealing with us. When I say us, is obviously the gaming industry. But I think we made a lot of good progresses in explaining the institutions, the banking institutions, that our industry is equally clean like many other industries. So they don't have to be scared and look at us like, wow, the bad guys are coming to the country. So I think we made a lot of good progress in that sense as well.
So, and beyond testing and regulatory compliance, are there any other security concerns in the gaming sector, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Security and cyber attacks are becoming the top number one, actually, agenda of boards worldwide, not only in the gaming industry, but any kind of industry. And it's for this reason that the BMM group is focused in creating a division, which is called Big Cyber, which is really truly dedicated to offer a cyber defense solution to our customers in the gaming industry. It's very, very costly to protect companies from cyber attacks. And when I say protect, doesn't mean that you can really protect them 100%. Cyber attack happens, will always happen. What we need to be able is to have solutions in place that detect the intrusions so that we can react immediately 24/7. And given that we have a lot of expertise in the gaming industry, we are kind of tailoring this cyber defense solution for this sector.
And do you feel the pandemic was ultimately a big driver of bills being filed in countries such as Chile, Peru, and Uruguay?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, there are countries where there were just land-based operations, and obviously due to COVID, they had to shut down all the casinos, while in other countries where online was regulated and up and running for a while, they could mitigate the damage and the impact of COVID. So clearly, I think that it's a common understanding that online is needed along with land-based. And that's one of the reasons. But also observing what was going on in other neighboring countries like Colombia, which probably I would say that is the best example to be looked at, helped as well.
And how is the land-based market in Latin America recovering from pandemic-based disruption?
We are back to 100%, and I think, no, it's not I think, I know for sure that some operators suffered a lot, and some casinos got shut down and never reopened. But I think it's a lesson learned. Hopefully we won't have another similar pandemic, but just in case, whereby I think the gaming sector has been penalized a lot by governments. A lot of casinos have been shut down for too long, while we have a very good example in Uruguay. It was the first country that reopened the casinos successfully without any collateral damage. So it's very important to understand that this industry was taking care of hygiene and protocols and safety as much or even more than other sectors.
So revenue has returned to usual levels. Great news.
Yes, definitely.
And so as a testing specialist, how has BMM Testlabs supported the industry through the difficult period?
Well, look, BMM was able to keep on serving our customers worldwide. We were not forced to shut down, which was definitely a good thing for us. We've been suffering from the land-based shutting down of our customers' operations, definitely, but we had to kind of be resilient as everyone else, invent ourselves, and come up with solutions. Obviously for online was easier because everything is remote, but for land-based we had to be very creative. So we put in place some ways to be able to test at least part of the components in a remote way, even for the land-based products, which actually we are continuing despite the fact that we don't have all those pandemic impediments. And as far as our staff is concerned, obviously we put in place all the protocols and safety, and we learned how to deal with all these virtual meetings, which were very helpful, true. I do personally think that meeting people face-to-face is still much better. And it's incredible to see how we were able to grow despite the pandemic, and we could really grow our customer base. But I'm also very happy that we're back to face-to-face meeting.
So it's led to some permanent changes in your products and how you offer them.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we need all to find a balance. I think we went too far into virtual, and we need to find a new reality, which will allow us to keep the human contact. At the end of the day, everything is about relationship.
Yeah.
We need to keep it. That's my personal opinion, but I really truly believe in this.
I agree. We're getting philosophical here in the ICE 365 Live studio. We could apply that to every industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Great. So up next, we talk World Series of Politics. And live in the studio, we'll have Brendan Bussman, the managing partner of B Global Advisors, Ugo Baumgartner, the VP International of 27th Gaming Group, and Robin Harrison, the head of B2B content, Clarion Gaming. Stay tuned.